Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the CO visit. Colin here, and of course my trusty coffee. So, just here on a Wednesday morning, nice cool morning. Got quite a bit of rain last night, and it's been raining a lot. In fact, it's rained pretty much all through January, most of December, January, February, literally every day, and it's a little bit out of season, especially right now, this late in February. We should be into the summer months now, where it's dry, windy, hot, very clear skies and everything. But it just kept raining, kept raining, kept raining. A lot of the influence we get is from the weather that comes down from the north, from the United States, and as it gets farther south, they turn into cold fronts and we get rain. So anyway, well, hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for clicking on the video. Yes, we're having an existential crisis, aren't we? Quite a deal. Really amazing that you know something as very simple as this can cause such a impact. Social media is just a buzz with memes and pages talking about the price of eggs. But again, it's all within the little bubble of the United States. I really never thought um, that I would see the day when a lot of prices, like food and things like that, would be cheaper where I'm living in Honduras, Central America, than in the United States. Um, you have to look at as well the conversion rate with money, and as opposed to how much we earn here. But when you consider that, even it becomes even less because the wages here in Honduras are significantly less. But you know, it's amazing. If you saw the post that I put up last night, it just came to me just to take a picture. We were at the supermarket, and this wasn't like a full run. It was just kind of a like restock a few things that we needed. Of course, you always end up taking a few more things, than what you plan on. But um, we had a full cart, and I listed all the things that we had bought, and you know, meat. We bought pork chops, chicken, ground meat, and carton of 30 eggs, and a few liters of milk, and among other things. And at the end, it was this full cart, about $75. And like at the end of the month, we'll really stock up for the next month, and we'll spend more than that. But you can just see how far things go here. And what guys, I don't know. We can sit here, we could talk all day back and forth about all the possible things. And in the States, it seems like conveniently what provoked all of this. I don't believe anything, guys. I just see at face value, especially when it comes to politics and the struggle for power among these leaders. And you have to realize that there is absolutely nothing that is below them that they will do to keep the power that they have. This isn't just any power. This isn't just, this is not like the little power trip you get from being an elder in the congregation or stuff like that, or even being at the head of a religious organization. Not even at that level. This is, people who are running one of the most powerful countries on the face of the earth. That's power trip level God, and they're going to hold on to that. They're going to do whatever they have to do, sacrifice whoever they have to sacrifice. There's nothing is sacred to them. Nothing, not family, not nothing, much less, the people. Yeah, get that idea out of your head. So with this whole bird flu thing, and it seems like, again, it's all in this little bubble in America, and it just seems very convenient to me that there was never a big crisis or a big issue with the bird flu, and then all of a sudden, right before the new administration takes over, you get this outbreak of bird flu, and they had to sacrifice I don't know how many million birds, chickens. And of course, every side's going to have their take on it, whether if it's a conspiracy, and some will say it was this side, some will say it was that side. But at any rate, guys, what I see distractions. I see distractions of bigger plans that are at work. Of course, behind the scenes, we don't know what's all going on and what's being talked about and what's being planned, and how the world powers are chopping up the world a little bit finer. And as a person, a political analyst, journalist that I followed for a long time until he kind of he retired from YouTube, but I watched this person for a long time, and he had a phrase that really summed it up well. And this journalist said that foreign policy and countries and politics, it's a game of poker where everybody is cheating. And that's pretty much sums it up. If you understand that, you understand. But I see distractions. Keep the people busy, keep the people bickering among themselves, keep people on social media, and whatever that might be with. There are certain things that are good old trusty faithfuls. Just like I've got my trusty coffee. The governments have their old faithfuls that they can always go to. That's a surefire way to get people to be divided. They'll do it themselves. You don't have to do anything. And one of those things is race. And this is in the US. In other countries, this isn't such a big deal. It really isn't. Here, that wouldn't work. People don't really care about stuff like that. But in the US, race is tried and true. Keep people divided that way. Keep people fighting. Keep people, going at each other's throats. Another one is political parties. And now we have, since the pandemic came and they came up with all this narrative and the rhetoric about, the vaccinations and this and that and all this stuff. And, they demonized doctors and scientists and all of that and science itself. And now you have, conveniently, right when the new administration comes in, this huge outbreak of bird flu. And so now price of eggs have just skyrocketed. Ridiculous. If you guys saw on my post last night, and this is no joke, guys, I'm not exaggerating at all. Right now in Honduras, a carton of 30 eggs right now, it fluctuates. It goes up and down depending on which week. It's at $3, about $3.40 right now. Comes out to around around 11, between 11 and 12 cents per egg. And I see egg prices there in the US, in some places, for 12 eggs, 15, 16 eggs, $12, $20, $18. That's Unreal. But the thing is, guys, what are you doing about it? What are people doing about it? If egg prices got that high here, first of all, people would be starving to death, and there would be revolution here. Literally, people would not stand for it. There is no way people could pay that much for eggs. No way. And the funny thing is, here we've never had. I've been here 23 years now. We've never had problems with bird flu. Never, never. So you would think places like this would be more vulnerable. So what is going on in America? Now, I think some of it might be, with these huge farms, all these, steroids. They're pumping animals full of and birds full of, and and then of course all these shots that they got to give the birds, and all these antibiotics and all this stuff. That's a delicate thing. You see, here they don't really use much of that, if at all. Where I live, right here, this area I live in, this whole department of Olancho is an agricultural department. So we have readily available all this kind of stuff, all the meat, the cheese, the none of it is processed here or like shipped anywhere. It's all right here. It comes right from the farms. They're not using any of that stuff. So, when you're using all these antibiotics and stuff like that, inevitably you end up causing the problem. You cause the problem because the more of that stuff you use, the more these viruses and strains start to mutate and they get tolerance. The more antibiotics you use, the more tolerance you get in these illnesses. So we don't use any of that here, and we've never had a problem with it. Never had a problem, never gotten sick. And then even during the pandemic, or the plandemic, as I like to say, even during the plandemic, when everything was shut down, when a lot of materials became scarce, even then, I think the highest that a carton of eggs got was around I want to say up around let's see here. Let me see. Let me do the math really quick in my head because I got to do the conversion. About $5. Got up to around maybe five and a half, maybe $6 at the most, and that was always for the big carton of 30 eggs, always. It was about 120 lempiras. The money here is called lempira. Um, and it's right now the conversion is 25 to 1, 25 lempiras to $1. So this was, a couple of years back. It was a little bit less than that. It was around 24, 23, 24. But it was up around 120 lempiras. That was between $5 and $6, even at that time. But the prices you guys are seeing in America right now, that's unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. And so you got that going on. That to me is a distraction. And you got planes coming down left and right, all over the place. Distraction. All this stuff going on. Seems like the case with Luigi kind of fell out of the cycle, but that'll be coming up again because they're gonna start the trial. So I don't know if it's gonna be in. I didn't hear in the end if maybe you guys know if that trial is gonna be in New York or if it's gonna be in Pennsylvania. I don't know what Pennsylvania's laws are. I think in New York doesn't allow cameras in the courtroom, so it can't be on TV, which would be a shame. Pennsylvania, I don't know. But I didn't hear in the end where the trial is going to be at. But that'll be a big thing. That'll keep people. That'll be the next soap opera. And all these things are distracting everybody from other bigger things that are going on. Things that are going on with Israel, with Russia and Ukraine, and all these other situations that are going on, and and within the administration, um, the President Trump and his little sidekick Elon, or is it the other way around? I'm not sure about that yet, but he's behind the scenes. Elon doing a lot of stuff, interesting stuff, borderline shady stuff. So, there's a lot of stuff going on, and they want to keep people distracted. Don't let yourself be distracted. Keep your eyes on what's really going on, what's really important. So, as far as the eggs go, what can you do about that? Well, kind of hard, guys. I don't know what to tell you, really. I mean, a lot of it depends on where you live. If there are local, farms, smaller farms, people that sell in the community, if you can support them, buy from them, and don't, like I said, don't fall into the scare tactics of the bird flu and all of that. Like I said, these big industrial farms where they're growing thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of chickens and all that, that's where you have to worry about. But a small, when you have groups of birds and really small groups, they're a lot less propense to get those kind of infections because they're not pumping them all full of this shit, and they've got their natural defenses and all of that. But what you have to worry about are these big industrial parks and farms. So if you can buy from locals, or if you have the circumstances, now I'm not going to tell you to, go get your own birds and all that. It's not that easy. First of all, the climate, you have to consider where you live. Even in pretty cold climates, if you have a adequate area, like a shed where you can keep them somewhat out of the elements and warm, and they'll survive. But even so, there's a lot of preparation, and you have to have the right place in a property to have those kind of animals. I mean, obviously, if you live right in the middle of town in an urban area, you can't do that. It's not allowed. And even in some rural areas, it all depends on your neighbors and how much privacy you have and things like that. If you can have your own, and how to take care of them and all of that, that's a route that you can take. But like I said, maybe you can support other local, smaller, people, farmers that sell eggs. We used to have, where I grew up in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, there was a brother, the one that I told you guys about in a video, where he grew a beard and ended up losing his privileges and all of that. And he had a farm, and he had chickens, and he would go around town and he would sell eggs to people. They were really good. We never had any problems. Like really, really nice big eggs. They were different colors, brown, and just right from the farm. Never had any problems with it. So, if you got somebody like that in your community, support them. Get some eggs. Maybe it'll be cheaper for you, and you might not be able to get a great quantity, but even so, you'd be paying less than at the supermarket. So, I don't know. Eat less eggs, I guess, for now. The sad thing is, guys, from my experience, usually when things like this happen, and then prices go up, and I hate to use this expression because it's become cliche-ish and I really don't like it, but for lack of a better term, it becomes the new normal. Don't look for the prices to go down in the near future, if ever. And if they do, it might be, a little bit, but don't look for like prices to go back to what they were before. No, it's not going to happen. This is the way it's going to be now. So anyway, well, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you made it this far. So as I've always said, the average watch time of videos has been pretty dismal as of late, but that's, what can you do? Such as YouTube and viewers. But I thank everybody who always supports the channel and always watches, and your comments, and I'll be keeping you guys updated. We're getting closer to the visit of my lawyer, and we'll try to document that and take some pictures and videos so I can be uploading that and you can see what's going on. So appreciate you all. Love you all. And I'll see you in the next CO visit. Stay tuned.